Welcome, my sons and daughters. My name is Elder George. I'm the Chief of Men's Action to Rebuild Society, an organization dedicated to promoting a natural way of life for humankind. Today, we are bringing you our version of the Stephen Colbert Newsweek Satire. The June 15, 2009 issue of Newsweek was guest edited by Stephen Colbert. As many of you know, Colbert's comedy specializes in parody, satire, and travesty. Except for 2 introductory pages and a few satirical comments, the Newsweek issue that he guest edited seriously addressed the issues facing the nation and the world, or so they thought. And that was the satire. Colbert and the magazine believed they provided well-thought-out solutions to problems of great import to the nation and the world. I will cite 4 examples. First, Jonathan Alter, the Jonathan Alter, commentator, writer, known internationally, in his article on education, stated that Obama and his education secretary understand that the key to better teaching is to figure out who can teach and who can't. That's an astounding statement. Here we have an educational budget of $46.7 billion. That's $billion. And they haven't figured out yet who can teach. And they won't. When fathers are at home, the truancy rate drops markedly. Unwed motherhood rate is cut in half, and academic performance rises. Teaching takes place in the home, where children can observe their parents resolve the day-to-day issues of living. Yet this issue, this article that Alter wrote, didn't mention manhood, fatherhood, or family. And still it believes that the educational system can be resolved. That's the travesty. Second, an article by Dahlia Lithwick titled Our Real Prison Problem, which after reading it I didn't find out what the real prison problem was. She points out that the United States has 5% of the world's population and almost 25% of its prison population. Very horrible, horrible. But she doesn't mention that 90 to 95% of the prisoners, or men in prison, come from broken homes. She doesn't mention that 95% of gang members come from broken homes. She doesn't mention that on any given night, 24 million American children go to bed in a home without a father in it. The prison population has been climbing rapidly for at least the last 35 years. No solution is in sight because family is taken off the table of discussable items when addressing this issue. That's the travesty. Sharon Begley's article, in which she addresses the administrative delay in bringing new cures to the marketplace, is another case in point. Scientists don't develop cures to anything. All medications developed by the pharmaceutical industry treat symptoms not causes, which is one reason the industry has grown so rapidly. Another area of major growth in the pharmaceutical industry is the production of drugs that treat depression and attention deficit disorder. 1 million school children now receive Ritalin, and the number of people taking antidepressants is in the tens of millions. The children who come from broken homes and dysfunctional homes are the primary users of medicinal drugs, and single and divorced women account for the preponderance of antidepressants. The breakdown of family leads to the breakdown of society. But this concept cannot be readily understood by the feminine, materialistic thinking of Western thought, and hence did not receive Sharon Begley's mention. That's the travesty. Lastly, we come to Newsweek's Fareed Zakaria, whose article titled "Victory in Iraq." That's a story in itself, how he could even use such a title. But in any event, he states, America engineered not simply regime change, but the total dismantling of the state and a massive social revolution as well, all in the space of 2 months. He acts as though this was a mistake. These activities were not in error. They were plans to destroy the family structure and cultural practices of the Iraqi people. This destruction has succeeded. Part of the plan for a new world order is to destroy the patriarchal structure of the Islamic world. A contingent of U.S. soldiers will remain in Iraq to be sure that they do not revert to their previous culture, just as American soldiers are still in Japan after 65 years after hostilities of World War II have ended, to be sure that they do not revert to their previous culture. The destruction of the family remains a paramount goal of those who want to establish the New World Order, and they are succeeding. I have cited articles by 4 well-known authors of 4 different topics affecting humankind. All of the issues that they wrote about have been with us for a very long time. All of them are getting worse. All of them are caused by the breakdown of the family. And yet they write believingly that the government will somehow fix things this time. That, my brothers and sisters, is a travesty. It's a parody. It's a satire. It's ridiculous. Know this. The unseen God produced the physical universe, and the unseen conceptual thinking of men produced the material world that sits upon it. Just as there can be no universe without God, there can be no society without men. By destroying the natural gender balance called patriarchy, government, with the help of the spiritually myopic media, is taking over control of every fundamental aspect of human life. Are you going to sit back and watch this happen? Or are you going to stand up and do something? The first thing that you can do is log on to mensaction.net. That's MENSACTION.net. And subscribe to my essays. The button is just under my picture. Then you can decide to become active with the other men and women and start propagating efforts to return to a more natural way of life. I thank you for listening. Until the next time, I send you my love. Be well.